Yeah, I've always enjoyed singing and listening to music from a young age. I always kind of knew that I would end up in some musical career. I grew up listening to mostly like 60s rock, like the Rolling Stones, Beatles, but also like Motown as well. Motown, Stax, and then my sister's influence kicked in. It was like Chili Peppers and like grunge stuff like Nirvana. But yeah, so many genres. It's quite hard to like pinpoint where my sound has come from listening to all that when I was growing up. But it's really influenced how I listen and approach music these days. I'm mostly inspired by Jeff Buckley, Deftones and Lana Del Rey. And for Jeff Buckley, I'm sort of inspired by the musical intervals and the chord progressions he has. Lana Del Rey, I really love her like vocal tone and what she does with her voice. And Deftones, I really like the sort of overall sound and feel. It's cool. All in all, I'd probably say Jeff Buckley is like my favourite. I really like Daughter at the moment, and the XX, The Weeknd. Just a whole bunch of like kind of trip hop indie bands are all pretty cool. It was a single and it was Spice Girls. A side was Who Do You Think You Are, and I think the B side was an orchestral version of Two Become One. It's perfect. The writing process is quite lengthy for myself. I'll have an idea, like a melody and lyrics, and it'll take me a while to sort of put the pieces together to make a final song. There's obviously quite a lot of editing goes in, you know, make sure I'm not just writing the first thing that comes out. It's good to revisit it and just reevaluate what you have so you can polish it and just make it as good as it can be. I do the string instruments, but I get my friends in my band to play guitar, bass and drums. It's basically just me and my mates that I'm just like, please play that. I mostly choose to do covers from bands I really like or bands who I'm influenced from. It's a good way to sort of reach out to a new audience because you can expand what they listen to. You can hear perhaps you do like a different version, like different chords, different arrangement, and they'll see that because I've seen so many covers on YouTube that are completely different to the original and they're great, and then I've gone in and listened to what they're doing as original artists. I don't know, like I think because certain guys put quite a lot of pressure on me over the period of about say 12 months due to a shift swap from Cineworld. So one day I'll do it. It's just a wee surprise. It'll be out there somewhere. I've performed in quite a sort of varied amount of places like Sneaky Pete's and Queen's Hall, City Halls in Glasgow. But I'd say the best ones are the sort of ones that I started out doing, like Sneaky Pete's. We had a great headline set and all my friends were there, and it was like the first time I'd performed my original music, so I think that was a really special gig just because it was the first time I'd done all my own stuff in front of a big crowd. And Sneaky Pete's is also an awesome venue. I get really nervous when I'm talking to a crowd in between songs, like hideously nervous. I usually do this default thing where I rabbit on, speak in a really high voice and go, hey everyone, so that was really cool, wasn't it? It's really awkward, so I've kind of realised that I need to just calm down and breathe and just not freak out, because they're all there to, you know, see me and have a good time at a gig, not stand awkwardly being like, this girl is psycho. I used to have the Pingu theme tune, you know, wah, 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 wah. That was my ringtone for everything. It was hideously loud as well, so if I ever forgot to switch my phone off in the middle of the night and it went off, I'd be like, oh my god. Nah, I never had a heckle. I would be terrified though. My lecturer, apparently he was heckled and he heckled the guy right back, and I think a fight ensued later on because that guy waited for him after the gig, so best not to, you know, loudmouth. But I was at the jazz bar a couple of weeks ago and I was just about to start my set, really quiet, and everyone was just going on, and I just shouted, fucking shut it. Like, everyone just shut up, you know, in a sort of joking way, and silence. No one was annoyed though, I did it in a jovial way. Oh my god. Someone that, can we ask, let me think for a second. I'll answer. I have no clue. Like, probably just another version of myself. I don't know, I'm joking. Does it have to be a person or could it be an animal? Because I would totally say cat. Probably like one of the Beatles, or I can just go around Beatlemania. I'm going to say cat. You can put that in if you want, because that's the truth. I don't have, like a crazy mantra, but I do drink so much water. I usually just sort of rub my palms together because I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sweaty, I'm so nervous. Look around, see if there's someone that's also nervous, I can freak out with them. But nah, it's usually pretty exciting going on the stage. I don't have like, a little saying or anything. I might have at some point in my life. Yeah, because as a singer you're totally putting yourself like right out there. There's nothing between like you and the audience. Like with a guitar or something, you can kind of hide behind it, look at your instrument, but my instrument's like there. Kind of like you're really just putting yourself out there as a singer. Not to say that other musicians don't get nervous, because everyone does, but I think as a singer you're more vulnerable to the audience. Florence Welch from Florence and the Machine, she's amazing live. Probably Deftones, like again my favourite band. Jeff Buckley, he's obviously dead, so I'm gonna have to bring him back for a performance at Sneaky Pete's with me. Who else? Fuck it, Spice Girls, that would be amazing. Me and them, second Ginger Spice. Oh, Justin Timberlake, he's amazing live, that would be cool. Pretty fun just to get everyone in like crazy dress up outfits and just jump into the crowd, get some foam machines, but I don't think I'd be able to get away with that at this stage of my career. Just foaming an entire audience of 3. Bring on my cat. Everyone, this is Patrick. Like put up to the microphone, just like oh hell no. Oh Jesus no. I think going on the X Factor is actually the worst thing you could do for your career. You get tied into like some sort of commitment to be part of like the X Factor, and like you'll always have that sort of attached to your name. Like even Will Young, he's an amazing artist on his own right, but he'll still always have, the winner of Pop Idol kind of attached to him. So I think it's sort of a poison chalice. Like yeah, it is a good platform for people that want to go down that route and get recognised. But for me personally, I think I would much rather try and get there on my own and just see where I can take it. And if it's not working, like you need to know when to sort of bow out gracefully and not be like, I'm going on the X Factor, I'm 57, it's my last chance, like what? Obviously look at the contract first, review it, see what's going on. I wouldn't want like to be affiliated with like X Factor or anything in any way, so I'd make sure Simon was pretty out of that. I absolutely adore Beyonce and Jay-Z, so I'd be like, adopt me. Any festival would be great. Like I love going to music festivals, it's such a great atmosphere, but playing at them I can imagine would just be so much fun, because you'd go do your thing and go see other amazing bands and then just chill out for the rest of the weekend. Festivals are great, I'd totally do them. Probably smaller Scottish independent ones now, like Wicker Man, Belladrum. Rock Nest is getting really big, but they've still got like smaller stages for up and coming musicians. I think that would be great. And Tea Park as well, obviously, like the Tea Break stage. There's actually loads of great opportunities to play at music festivals in Scotland. The music scene is amazing. There's so many amazing artists, management, and amazing opportunities for Scottish musicians to get their music out there. Like there's great venues in both Glasgow, Edinburgh, Inverness, Dundee, Aberdeen, that are platforms for musicians to perform, and there's loads of festivals as well, like I was saying, and there's like music conferences like Go North, Wide Days, Born to be Wide, that are like great networking opportunities. So there are so many opportunities for young Scottish musicians here in Scotland. I think it's fantastic. Frightened Rabbit for sure, they're fantastic. There's loads of other like great Scottish bands that are getting more recognition over in the States and internationally. I think that's amazing for Scotland and the Scottish music scene. Yeah, dude, my flatmates are totally into the whole classical music, like neoclassical, minimalism, wave. And I do sort of listen to it. I'm actually a classically trained cellist. I don't really tell many people that, but I've played in orchestra since I was about 10. part of the cello section. So again, that's you know, I do listen to that, but I wouldn't like put it on my iTunes or Spotify and like, right, up next a Dvorak symphony. But nah, I really appreciate music in most forms. Like symphonies are so like incredibly complex, and quite a lot of them have been written by one guy, one piano, hundreds of years ago. They've, you know, lived in poverty, and when they die, their music finally comes out. So I think there's a level of like respect of listening to it and appreciating it instead of just casting it off because it's probably got so much work put into it and the guy just didn't see any success. But yeah, that's cool. Yeah, well, I'm going to obviously try and pursue my career as a performing artist. I'm going to send my music out to, you know, A&R scouts, labels, just see what happens. And if I don't get great feedback, then it's, you know, a good opportunity to reevaluate what kind of music I'm putting out there. I'm also really interested in music supervision, which is choosing music for film, TV, to like go along with the scene. It's really interesting, but performance is definitely the main thing. It's cool. Yeah, I've got an EP coming out in a few months. It's a nice 4-track original EP. It's my first ever release, so that'll be coming out June.